was that I identified these like fundamental 7 basics that once you really mastered that and you know a problem solving process that we teach, you can really unlock any problem. Like I will
Mhm.
solve problems with my students that for things I've never seen before, languages I've never used, frameworks I've never used, but I still help them because it's about the process, not the particular language, which most people don't get. I mean, can you imagine, Nick? I mean, think of the technology we had in the 1970s. That was like a lifetime ago, right? Like so long ago. You wouldn't
Yep.
think anything would be relevant from then to now. But the 7
Mhm.
basics were in the 1970s and every language that's come about since then. The 7 basics are the 7
Really?
basics. So you can learn
Really?
something from 50 years ago and it's still relevant. So
Mhm.
those are the kind of fundamentals that we focus on, the timeless ones.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Infinite Ability Podcast. I am your host, Nick Yerhart, and we are here to encourage each other to find our own unique abilities. Let's go. All right, everyone. So today we have Dr. Emily on the show, and I can't wait. This is going to be really good. So, Dr. Emily, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Dr. Emily, and I train software developers and I help create custom business software for businesses. And also, we help provide, education and training for anyone that's looking to hire software developers. We also provide, talent acquisition services as well. So, lots to do in the tech space.
That's awesome, and I bet most of what you do goes way over my head. I'm not a real tech-savvy person, but I have people for that, so it's okay. I don't have to be. You just gotta hire the right people, right?
Exactly. And in other news, I'm a mom of 5 and a retired professor. That's where the doctor comes from.
Yep,
And I also sing on the side. So many
that's
faceted.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I know we were talking before this, and you said that you're singing a wedding right after this, so that's exciting.
Yep. I love it.
Awesome, awesome. That's good. So when it comes to the tech world, what part of tech are you focused on?
Awesome. So the part of tech that I predominantly focus on is software, right? And that's a really, really broad umbrella.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows this, but software developers can earn anywhere from like, 40 to 60K all the way
Mm-hmm.
up to $1 million a year. Most
Yeah.
average is in the 100 to 300K range per year for salary, which is just incredible. And so we help train people with the skills so they can unlock those jobs for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So mostly we're building custom websites, we're building custom mobile apps. And so we're training our students on how to deliver those while we're also, delivering this really high quality software products for our business
Mm-hmm.
clients as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. And I know that tech is a huge industry these days, obviously, but I love tech, and I have a few tech software products that I sell. And it's awesome because you have it, you sell it, you help people with whatever the problem is, and you can customize basically everything, so it can be unique to each of my clients. So yeah, it's
Yes,
really cool.
exactly. And actually, that customization thread comes out in a bunch of different ways. Like, for instance, this
Hmm.
morning, I was creating a customized plan where we have a business that has like little coding needs. They have software infrastructure and they just need an update. Like every week, there's like something little that needs tweaked, but they don't
Hmm.
really need a full-time software developer on staff. There's not enough work for that. So we're going to
Yep.
be working with them, on that. But then also for our students, because software is so varied, one of the secrets to our success is that we actually customize the learning experience to each of our students. We place them in a production environment, like working on real client software projects with a guaranteed internship.
Awesome.
And this allows us to, really specialize the learning to them versus a lot of other training programs. A bunch of people get in a room and they say, you need to know this. But we're, and then what happens is every student that graduates is competing against each other because they all have the same exact cookie cutter skill set. But technology is like this ever changing, right? Many headed thing. Like it's constantly evolving and expanding. The core skills don't change. It's how they look in the world. And so we train our students on the fundamentals, and then we customize the training for their specific goals. So they might come out and do AI or data science or mobile or web. And our program still supports them because the fundamentals that underpin how do you solve a tech problem don't change. So we teach them that, and then we customize it for them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. And, we do something similar. Every client that I get on the software side, and we have software training, but then we do one-off meetings with them to help them with the part that they need help with. Because everybody uses software differently. It's not a one-two-fits-all, for most products. Some of them, yeah, but most of them, no. So yeah, I think it's really cool that you're doing that. And then, are you also training your clients on how to use it?
Oh, that's a great question. Sometimes our clients, especially if they're a software startup, might want to even try to learn to code themselves to have a better appreciation for the problem. Typically, though, they get in and they're like, whoa, I want to be the entrepreneur. I want to be the owner that's like designing that. And then we train them on project management, how to have a team, how to grow their business, right? And how to do those things. But we do help, make sure to transition our clients, make sure they understand how to use the software that they've been given as well. Absolutely.
Yeah. I honestly don't understand coding at all, not one bit. But that's why I have people on the team that take care of that,
Oh, exactly. Well, and it's actually really cool. So, there's this little insight that I had because I actually went to school for computer science because I wanted to learn how software worked. Like I wanted to learn how to create my own websites and create my own mobile apps. But the problem is I went to school for it and I got a 4-year degree. And at the end of it, I felt like I didn't actually know how to do anything. And I didn't even apply for jobs. So like I actually invested 10 years of my life to learn how to code and almost $250,000 getting 3 computer science degrees. And I still had to teach myself. Right? So like talk about frustrating. But the cool thing that came out of that experience, the win, right? I'm always looking for the silver lining, was that I identified these like fundamental 7 basics that once you really mastered that and a problem solving process that we teach, you can really unlock any problem. Like I will solve problems with my students that for things I've never seen before, languages I've never used, frameworks I've never used, but I still help them because it's about the process, not the particular language, which most people don't get. I mean, can you imagine, Nick? I mean, think of the technology we had in the 1970s. That was like a lifetime ago, right? Like so long ago. You wouldn't think anything would be relevant from then to now. But the 7 basics were in the 1970s and every language has come about since then. The 7 basics are the 7 basics. So you can learn something from 50 years ago and it's still relevant. So those are the kind of fundamentals that we focus on, the timeless ones.
So what are the 7 basics?
Awesome. So the 7 basics include, variables, input and output, math and logic, for loops, functions. Now I'll have to try to remember all of them. Sequences and data structures. There might be, I think, did I say variables already? I don't remember if I said variables or not, or if conditions. I think that was the 7th one that I missed. But they're the fundamental basics. And you can use those in Excel spreadsheets. You can use them in all the major languages. There are a couple languages that are written differently, but by and large, all the major ones like that you've heard of, they all have the 7 basics.
Huh. I never knew that. And out of all 7, I understand like 2 of them.
Which ones? I'm just curious.
The math. I understand math. I probably don't understand math when it comes to software. And then what was the second to last one? I don't know. I can't
Lists
remember.
and data structures?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
But when it comes to software, I'm probably thinking something way different.
Yeah,
So
this is like writing software from scratch, right? Like all the
yeah,
underpinnings of that.
yeah. Because like I know, look, I just recently learned how to open up like the coding screen. I don't know,
Nice.
the screen on the site where it's got all the numbers and words and all
Mm-hmm.
the stuff that I have no idea what it means. I just learned how to open that up, and because like if I'm having a problem, my tech guy will ask me to open that up so he can see what it's doing, and I don't know what he's reading, I don't know what he's looking at, but he understands it. So, but I think it's a real like it's just amazing, how people understand like coding and everything. I just think it's really cool,
Yeah. Well, and it, to take it higher level, right? To keep, really at the end of the day, coding is just encoded communication, right? Because at the end of the day, the purpose of coding is to transfer and transform information, which is just communication. And so it's just a systematized way of communicating between different things. Like literally, that's all it is at
Yep.
the end of the day.
Huh. I never I thought of it like that. Well, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, what is your company called?
Oh, we're called the Joy of Coding Academy is the training division that I was
Okay.
speaking about, but our entire company is called TechJoy Software because we do training, we do software development, we do talent acquisition, and so we're a one-stop shop. If you have needs in tech, we probably have something for you.
That's awesome. That's awesome, and much needed. I know firsthand. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's
absolutely.
awesome. So, how do you like to spend your time
In the business or outside of the business?
outside? Let's go outside
Outside
for a
of the
little
business?
bit. Yeah.
Sure. So I have 5 children, ages 2 to 12.
Mhm.
And I started my business kind of in between the last couple.
Mhm.
So it was really fun and exciting. And I'm also the primary wage earner in my home. So, my husband's a contributor as well. He's a music teacher. So we do lots of
Mhm.
fun musical things together
That's
and with the
awesome.
family, just soccer Saturdays and just, yeah, all that typical, mom stuff. But what I
Yep.
really love to do is I really also enjoy getting to sing. I was a professionally trained singer in college. I was on the fence, tech or music. And I just thought, I really don't think I'm going to enjoy, being a performer, being an opera singer. And I knew I didn't want to be a music
Mhm.
teacher like my husband. So I was like, I'll stick with tech for
Yep.
now. But, it's something I love to do and I just can't resist. But it's so interesting to me because 20
Mhm.
years after getting this formal training, in the past year, I've finally become a professional singer and I sing actually at, a couple local churches nearby. So my signature song is Ave Maria,
Mhm.
Schubert's Ave Maria. And so I'm doing that today by request at the wedding this afternoon. So just occasionally I
Awesome.
get to, sing at the church or, for special services or occasions. And it's just such a joy. I love to do it.
That's awesome. And I love the fact that, you're doing both of your passions, because I like to look at life like, why does there have to be an or? Why can't there be
Right.
and? So like, I like to live in abundance. So like, instead of this or that, how about this and that, So I think it's really awesome that you're doing both.
That's awesome. I feel like you're describing my life a little bit. I've also lived with too much. So I've been living that and hard. And I realized that, like, well, if you put too many things on your plate, you can't actually move forward on any of them. So I am learning the
You are
balance of
correct.
one and.
Yeah, you are correct. You are correct. So I kind of did the same thing about a month and a half ago. I was just doing everything, and then nothing really worked out good. Like it was like
Yeah.
all kind of working ish, but it's like okay. So now I'm focused on basically two things and two things only. So it's definitely like a stress relief, also, especially when it's everything was my business. I was working in my business from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. 7 days a week, and it was just a lot. So now I learned take time for yourself, enjoy life, have fun, and things are going a lot better. And it's amazing because I'm getting more done than
That's
when I was
awesome.
basically working, 24/7. So yeah.
I believe it. I feel like I've just been there, this past year for sure, just growing the business, because we basically 10x'd from our first to our second year, like 250K to 1.25 million. It was like, woo.
Damn,
And so
that's
there was just so
awesome.
much learning. It was on the back of my time. And so
Yeah.
like learning how to focus, how to hire appropriately, how to actually tell them what to do, right? Like all of those scaling and business growth challenges. So yes,
Yeah.
I completely understand. I recently took a stand where I was like, no, I'm only going to do one business event outside of my normal work hours, like in family time, just to keep because I serve people that are transitioning careers. They often have nights and weekends available. So, I usually have something, but I've decided it's just gonna be one a week. I'm just gonna pick one thing a week, and then the rest of the time, and that'll be the sufficient balance, versus like what you were saying, like 24/7, eight to eight, and it can get out of hand, right? It can get out of hand really quick.
It can. It can
Yeah.
because like I was booking appointments with leads and clients, and I just opened up my calendar from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. so people could just book all day long. I mean, there was
That's
days
so
where I
generous of
had,
you.
yeah, it was great. It worked good, but it didn't work good for me. So I was like, all right, I gotta,
Yeah. Yeah.
step back a little bit on that. But we're still taking appointments, and my business partner Kyle, he's taking some of them now,
Nice.
so it's not all
Good.
on me. So yeah,
That's awesome
it's
to hear.
working a lot better.
Yeah, because as a business owner, it's also about, learning where is your time used best, right? Like, can you do anything in the business? Yes, you probably can and should be able to do anything in the business, but is that the best use of your time? And so I ended up into a
Yep.
situation this past year where I was wearing, a lot of hats, and it just got out of hand. And so now I'm systematically going through and recognizing, okay, where am I the bottleneck? Is this just I need to streamline it, make the SOP, and I can still do it? I just need to make it easy for myself? Or is this really something I should be handing off to a staff member, or finding a new person to hand this off
Yep.
to? Maybe the person doesn't exist yet. So
Yep.
I completely get it.
Delegation is key to a successful business. We
Yeah,
can't do it all.
I know.
And
It's funny because I'm a doer in the past, and
yep.
I'm fairly quick at doing things. And so it's just 15 minutes. I can do this. I don't need to hire somebody. But then you put too many 15 minutes together and you've lost your week.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. Yeah, exactly. My mentor, Grant Cardone, he's like, once your business is established, any new thing you should do one time and then pass it on to the next person. So that's their
Yep.
job. But always learn how to do everything in your business. So then that way, if somebody has a problem, they know that they can come to you for help. I think that's important
Right.
as a business owner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was definitely navigating that in this past year as we scaled, how to grow, but from a one woman show to to having multiple employees and working together and delegating and communicating clearly. Like I think I underestimated, the time that good communication really takes. And that when you onboard a staff member, I used to think like, oh, I'll be able to hand this task off immediately. Well, yes and no, because then you've got to make sure you've trained them and they're doing it appropriately. And so anyways, lots of lessons learned in the past, couple of years.
And we tend to learn more lessons the hard way than the easy way.
I know. Yeah, sometimes I just wouldn't listen. I think I don't know if it's like an entrepreneurial hazard, but like having a little bit of that rebel mentality, like to see the problems and not accept the current solutions that the world is offering. You kind of like have to be a little bit of a rebel, and I feel like sometimes it bites us in the butt because it's like I can do this, right? Like I can do it all. It's like, well, can you?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that optimal? You know?
Not usually.
Right,
So
exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
I
I love
agree.
it.
That's awesome. So I gotta ask you. My slogan is "Your abilities are infinite." What does
Yes.
that mean to you?
I love it. I love your slogan. I love your message, Nick, because
Thank
I
you.
agree. Like anyone can do anything. It's just what do we choose to do?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was kind of the heart of my business originally. I was a computer science professor because I saw that the system was broken, that I went through
Mm-hmm.
it and I couldn't learn from it. I had to teach myself. And I was like, something is wrong with
Mm-hmm.
this picture because these skills are so highly in demand. So
Mm-hmm.
historically, who has created software? People that look the same, right? Traditionally. And,
Yep.
people who could afford to go to college, who had a certain skin color, who were from a certain socioeconomic background. But I'm also the founder of the innovation program at my former university. And I know that to get the best quality technology and quality of life based on that technology that our society can have requires diverse perspectives and voices. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like,
Yeah.
we have just like, if we only have people that look a certain way or from a certain background building the technology, our whole society and community is missing out. And so I went on a
Mm-hmm.
mission to make it accessible for anyone to learn the
Mm-hmm.
fundamentals of coding and unlock the potential that tech has for us. So it's really near and dear to my heart because I know I've never seen a student fail that puts their mind to it unless they get off the
Mm-hmm.
path. They stop. That's the
Yeah.
only reason someone would not be able to get this or at least get some kind of a tech job that uses these skills because there's just like
Yeah.
so many levels. My fastest student got a job in like 2 weeks. Like you can't, like you
Wow.
don't have to do, there's so many levels of learning. And so
Mm-hmm.
I just love that it's really about, choosing where do we want to go? Where can we best contribute? And I just
Mm-hmm.
love that, that you're living out that mission and showing us that as an example.
Thank you, and thank you for your answer. That was incredible. So
Oh,
awesome. And then, how can people reach out to you?
Oh, great question. So our website is techjoy.software, TechJoy.software, SOFTWARE. You can also find us like by Googling Joy of Coding. That's our flagship internship academy, where we prep 6-figure software developers. But techjoy.software connects you to all the things that we are.
Awesome, amazing. Well, this has been a real pleasure and very helpful, and yeah, just awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, Nick, for having me. It was a pleasure.
Of course. If you enjoyed this show, please go ahead and share it on your Instagram story and tag me in the Nick Yerhart. Also, go ahead and share it anywhere else that you see fit, because the only way that I can grow this is by you guys sharing it. I don't sell anything on here. I don't have any sponsors, so let's just get it out there by word of mouth and help more people. Alright, everyone, remember, your abilities are infinite.